t- tonight we have a great guest, Neil DeMonte. He's a film producer at Sony Records. He's an actor at Stevens Group, and he's a storyboard artist from Bloomhouse. He's also too been on Pirates of the Caribbean in two of the movies. So, how did you get into the entertainment field there, Neil?
Well, when I graduated, there was like literally it was a boys' club. Nobody would even talk to me. So when I graduated from school at USC, so like one of my friends I went to school with, whose name was Mark,
Yeah.
told me that he had a friend named Dean Jones, who was a special effects makeup artist who was working on Star Trek. And whenever he was not working on Star Trek, like in the summertime when they had their break, he was teaching classes at Cinema Makeup School in off of Wilshire Boulevard. So he's like, "Yeah, why don't you come with me? Maybe my friend Dean can like see your artwork and he might like your stuff. He might want to hire you for doing stuff." So I went with him to go meet Dean, and Dean and I clicked really quickly and became friends. Then Dean started hiring me for designing makeup for the students to do for their class projects. And he was referring me out for doing artwork jobs after that too. So I slowly kept making friends and getting my name out there. I did a lot of jobs for free or for super cheap money. And then I just kept, I just kind of started branching out from that point on, and then kept meeting people. People kept hiring me for bigger and bigger things. And then that's how the whole thing got started. Like, like,
That's that's totally excellent, and you do such a great job. So, I know Phil and Zandine's probably got a lot of questions for you. Um, Phil's been in the entertainment world. He's done a documentary that was on PBS for a whole year, I believe. And Zandine's been on WKRP Cincinnati on a very special segment that they had. And you already know who I am, so um, but I'm gonna let Phil Zandine ask some of the questions.
Go ahead, Phil. I'm always hogging the mic. Go ahead, Phil.
Hey Neil, thanks again for joining. I'm just when you mentioned the boys club, I never did actually move down to Los Angeles and actually immerse myself in that area. I always found it way too expensive and to even try to live down there. So I mean, what can you tell us a little bit about the struggle you went through? I imagine it couldn't have been easy to get off the ground.
oh yeah, it was like rough. I would have a landlord back then who would call me and start singing, "Where is the rent? Where is the rent?" And like you just like, "Oh my God, I feel a bout of diarrhea coming on. Oh my God," because you're so nervous. So like it was rough. Like I was working at a temp company. I forgot the name of the temp company. So they would, like because my computer skills were lacking, and I've never been good with computers. But since I had like low computer skills, they'd always call me and be like, "Hey Neil, we've got one of those special jobs for you." I'm like, "Yeah, I know what that means. I'm too underqualified. I'm way underqualified to do anything normal." So like they would have me do like QA and QC stuff and like driving cars at an auto auction, stuff like that. And so like so I would do that. Then whatever freelance jobs I had coming in, I would use that to help. All of it was going towards rent because rent in LA is so expensive. And that was pretty much it. So I was like making ketchup sandwiches and like yeah, I would go buy a loaf of bread and bananas and then just like go to McDonald's at nighttime and steal the ketchup packets and like the mustard packets and make sandwiches out of that and eat that. It was horrible. I did that for almost like a year and a half until
Wow.
I started getting more paid work. But yeah, it was really rough. But yeah, like the things I really wanted to be down there. My dad at the time was living up here and said, Neil, I started working at Home Depot. I can get you a job. If you want to come up here, we're a close family. If you want to come up here and move back home, you could change light bulbs at Home Depot and make some money. And you can go back down to LA. I'm like, you know what? As much as that offer appeals to me, I can't do that because I'm started making friends here in contacts. They're calling me more and more for work. So I kind of need to be here. And yeah, luckily I would just call my landlord if I was gonna be late with bills and like just let him know I'll pay a late fee or whatever if I had to. But yeah, so I just kept like just sticking around. So luckily with like friends, backing me up and like throwing work at me little by little, I started making a name for myself. So yeah, it was rough. The first years, it's almost like
Did,
the
did you
six. Uh,
did you do the whole cattle call thing and every day out there
well, I
just
wasn't doing acting work at that point. I was just doing like I was trying to get storyboarding work for movies and doing artwork jobs. That was the quickest way to pay bills. Acting, you could spend like like $5 or whatever taking buses and trains to go to an audition and then like not necessarily get the role, in which case you're going to be out of money. So I just decided to, before I started trying to do the acting thing, trying to do the artwork job thing too at first. So that was the quickest way to make money. And since I was a pretty good artist and I can draw really fast, I started picking up work pretty, on a regular basis after that experience.
Did you get to know Johnny Depp pretty well while doing Pirates of the Caribbean?
Pretty well. We got to hang out on set. Take that. Yeah, it's really nice and super, very family oriented. By the way, oh my God, loves his kids. Great. It's like really, reconnect with the kids and everything too. And all the girls would always be crushing him on set the whole time. So every time he come on set, oh my God, yeah. And all the guys, it's freaking cool. So it was pretty nice. It was a very nice. It was a very even though it was a really big production, it was very family oriented. Like everybody treated each other very well. Like I made a lot of friends on that movie too. Like everybody from like the extras to like catering, the costume makers. We're all actually still in touch with a lot of the same people now too. We just like refer people to work a lot of the time. It's just really nice.
And
Yeah, and that's really cool. I can relate to you a little bit. Like I tell Paul and Phil some things that I remember, but like you just jogging me when I went down to Hollywood. It was kind of like what you were doing. I lived in the Bay Area, and there's just nothing. You can do talent shows. You could have, I was rapping like 1,000 words, 26 a second. I was dancing, James Brown, doing all kind of stuff, playing in rock bands. Couldn't get anything, and I sat at the park one day, and I says, Lord, what do I have to do? And I exhaled, and I started driving. They gave me a call. So they said, hey, this guy that does Hill Street Blues and like Free Willy or something, they said, his name is Michael T. He's here like in the city. He wants to find like the fastest rapper somebody can dance. He said that, and he said, that's you. I said, well, you know what, man? I'm not interested. I had already signed a bad contract at 13 where they owned everything for like the longest, my T-shirts, whatever I had, right? So I didn't want to talk. So they said, hey, are you sure? So after about a week, I finally talked to him. And I really didn't know who he was at the time, but he left me a red-eye flight at the SFO airport. And then I went down to LA, started hanging out with him. And I had a brother that was doing the same thing with me. So he had us freestyle for people, everybody we would see. And at the time, he was working on Bubba Shrimp. He kept asking us, do we want to see this character? He was like, nah, man, we don't want to see that shit. It's like everybody's creative. That's some funny character. We do that shit all the time. So he's like, no, I want you to watch it. But he ended up making us watch this, watch him do that character. But before that, we were under contract to do beats, rap for everybody. We had to do anything he said pretty much. But that's how I ended up getting on WKRP. Just anybody that I saw, I do a rap about them or do some speed rap or do some jazz or something. And it was a hard road, but like you said, I was starving and I was probably much older than you were when I did get that break. But I had to come back because I had a kid. So I had to decide, down there is where the work is. And even as I left, they were asking me to write raps for these guys on like Max Tash and Bill Dow. These writers have been writing for like Good Times or whatever, stuff I had never even dreamed of. But I came back and it was like, just regular life, and people around me, they don't have any idea, man. You have to be down there,
Yeah.
I don't know about now, that with the media and internet, but I saw you're into a lot of things, man. You're actually directing. You got Hellbilly Clothing, a Clan of the Vein. I'm looking at all of this stuff that you're doing. It's like, how do you find time to do all this, man? Like, tell me about the Hellbilly Clothing and the Clan of Vein.
Oh, you want to know about? Do you want to know? Like, it was a little bit hard to hear. You want to know about those, or?
Yes, please.
Yeah, the Hellbilly stuff was just kind of like I just kept seeing all these angel wings all over the place. I'm like, how come no one's ever done anything with bat wings before? Because like all the people who are gothic and like into like Dracula don't have anything to wear. So I talked to my friend Eli James at Ghost Circus and I told him, hey, I got this cool idea about having these big bat wings put on the back of the hoodie. And he goes, hey, that would sound like a pretty cool idea. And he told me how to do it. Put me in touch with some of the guys that do printing with his clothing apparel line. And yeah, we made like a small batch of them, and then like they sold out immediately. And then we just kept making more of them. Then we started making ones with zippers and everything too, which is what we're doing right now. And people are putting like orders in for them. So then we thought, okay, well, if they like these hoodies that we're doing, why don't we expand and start doing like, like t-shirts and bikinis and so on and so forth too. So we just got an investor, and that investor is actually helping us with like putting all the funds together for doing like joggers, leggings, combat boots, all kinds of stuff. So we're actually designing everything, and also, yeah, the whole thing was designed to basically empower people who don't necessarily want to get tattoos, but they feel the empowerment of having a tattoo.
Okay.
All the design, like sleeves with all kind of cool stuff on like black and white mostly type things, and like heavy detail work that it's fun for me because I love drawing all this creepy devil shit all over. It makes me happy. So it's just a matter of being able to design it like a tattoo, but like how would you put it on clothing so people can feel the same empowerment of having a tattoo without necessarily having one? And that was the idea for how the whole thing came about. Yeah, right now Ricky Rocket from Poison's wearing it. Slash from Guns N' Roses. The guys
Yeah.
Okay. Pros. Some of the guys in Nine Inch Nails are wearing our clothing. So yeah, so I'm like, yeah, just keep wearing them, getting the word out so people keep like, checking out our stuff. So like, yeah, with all these music festivals coming up too, I was like, yeah, if you just wear it on stage, if you get a chance, or even like hanging in the green room, and just get some pictures of it too, that'll help us like build the brand and everything too. And luckily, I've had a lot of friends that are models, so I just send them some stuff so they can just get me some pictures. So whenever they go to photo shoots, they wear the clothing and get pictures back to me, and then I'll credit the photographer and credit them and use them like on the online catalog that we're putting together right now with the website. So that's how that particular thing came about. And I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, no. How did you even start like with that type of mentality to go, to go into that? I mean, that's incredible.
Oh, thanks. I just figured out it's a quick way to make some quick extra money while like having a passive income. While like you can have a passive income if you just get the word out there and have a steady business.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's actually fun for me to do. I didn't even think too much. I was thought about putting some cool bat wings on the back of a hoodie and be like, hey, this would look pretty cool. I didn't know it was gonna take off. So yeah, but it's pretty cool because people like my artwork. So okay, if they like my artwork and all the tattoo designs that I do, if I can put stuff on clothing, it might be kind of a cool, fun thing to do. So yeah, so like we just finished doing all the leggings and joggers, and I'm doing a couple designs for some other stuff too. And the bikinis look pretty cool, and the men's swimsuits look pretty cool. So now we're gonna keep branching forward into different things like that too. We're even doing high heels for women too with one of our partners, Geronimo, who's got a clothing company. He's actually doing our high heels for us too for women, which are pretty cool looking too. So yeah, we're smart brands to keep doing more stuff.
Now, Neil, you do a lot of storyboarding, and I know that Walt Disney was probably one of the first people that introduced people to storyboarding. How did you get involved in that? And also, too, did you do the storyboarding for Pirates of the Caribbean?
Okay, so I never did the storyboards for Pirates of the Caribbean. I was just an actor on that film, but I got into it because I was basically broke and needed the money, and I wasn't making any money as a comic book artist at the time. So one of my friends, his name is Nick Wagner. He's a photographer that used to live in Los Angeles. So he told me, "You ever thought about doing storyboards for movies? Because your artwork is really good and you're really fast." And I said, "What's that exactly?" And he said it's like doing a comic book, but adding camera direction in, and that's basically it. But really loose sketches. It's not that detailed as a comic book. So like I didn't quite know how to do that. And I said I never went to school for that, but do you need to go to school? He goes, no, you can like just pick it up. He just said like just even get to work on some independent movies and get paid a small amount of money and you'll learn how to do it on site. So I didn't know how to do it. So I went to a bookstore and I got this book called Shot by Shot, and I forgot the name of the guy who wrote it, but like there's a section in there on storyboards that it's from Alfred Hitchcock's I think North by Northwest, and also a couple little, just like a small chapter on like what storyboards look like. Dude, I swear to God, I looked at that within 10 minutes. I knew how to do it because I watched enough movies. So when you look at how the panels are laid out, like a comics, look at how the camera here to here, and how it zooms in, pulls out, cuts to everything. That's it. 10 minutes. I learned how to do it. So like, and then I found out how much storyboard artists make. I'm like, they make that much money? Fuck this comic book's gonna waste my time with this crap. So like,
Neil, have you ever thought about taking your storyboards, signing them, and putting it on eBay and selling them?
I have done that before, and I've made a nice chunk of money too, which is great because once you're done with the production, I ask everybody on the thing I ask the producers, do you want these? And if you want them, I'll give them to you. But if they say take it home, then like okay, great. I do everything by hand too. So because I do everything by hand, they're worth money. And so I just like I remember I sold the Palm Springs storyboards for that movie for a ton of money. Because yeah, they were sitting around. I had a stack like this thick, and like I asked everybody on the cast, crew, the directors, like, you guys want these? You can take it. And they said, no, it's okay. So I'm like, okay, great. So like I was found that as a good extra way to kind of make extra money. As long as the movie comes out in theaters and nobody wants it, if I have the original copy, I'll just sell them online and get extra money for it.
Yeah,
But
don't throw them away. Yeah,
Film,
definitely.
oh,
what 47 films altogether? That's a lot of material, or probably even more films than that. That's a lot of money, a lot of a lot of chances to make it.
yeah, it's like it's a fun job too. It's like I meet like everybody. So like when the producers hire the director, I'm the next person to be hired before the cast, crew, or anybody. So like they'll hire me, then hire the production designer or the art director, and then we're the first ones to get hired. So we have to design what the whole movie's gonna look like with all the shots and camera angles and everything else too. So like it's nice. I get to meet everybody before they even cast the movie, which is great. And it's not because you do it with different directors, you learn different styles, and you incorporate that in your own style. Then you come up with something neat and fresh. And yeah, and you learn about filmmaking too. Like I mean, my God, I've learned more from storyboarding one movie than I could have possibly been in a film school for like 4 years. Because you're on really fast and like yeah, there's no time for slack too. So if you're not fast, you're not going to work. You got to draw at like light speed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and also too, it's like I was watching Pawn Stars, and they brought in some storyboards that were signed, and God, they sold. It was a lot of money too. It's like, yeah, you can make a lot of money selling those things.
Yeah.
Do
How
you
do you
go direct?
Okay.
Sorry, Dean.
No, but Phil, you.
I just wonder whether you go directly by shot list, or is it like the director sits down with a script with you, or is it script shot list, and then I just that the whole process with it, and then how many actual pictures are you drawing, for the movie, or is it per page of the script, or is it or is the director gives you the shot list and that's the pictures and then that's it?
It's all of the above. It depends on who wants what. Like I usually talk with the director and say, "What are your favorite movies?" And they'll come to their favorite movie. Then I'll say, "Okay, no, kind of shots by that." Other times, like they'll want you to, if they're really specific, they want you to sit down with them and go through every single shot. So I usually use like 3 panels per page. So it's like then you have like notes underneath it. So like that's the one size I usually use. Like yeah, whatever that format is for yeah, was it 1 by 1.7 or whatever that frame rate is for like the widescreen. So I use that, and it's a smaller one for commercials because it's a smaller screen. So yeah, so sometimes you get a shot list. Sometimes people want you to sit there with them and doodle everything out first. That's what I do. Most of the time people want you to doodle it. So like I'll do little thumbnails, and if they like that, then I'll go off and make the finished work. So like I'll work with them on the phone or whatever or in person, likely sketch everything out. Then if they like it, then I go home and just add detail that I get back up the next day or two, and then it's all done. So it just depends on who wants what. Some people, if they're very experienced, like when I work with Sylvester Stallone, he was so confident. He was just kind of like, he was like, here's what I want. And he was just telling me, and I would just like doodle things that he'd be like this. He goes, yeah, I like that. Then I would just do that. And other times they'll give me a script and say, okay, just you do a pass on it. And if I feel like adding or changing anything, then I'll do it. So I'll go home for like 2 weeks, or I'll stay in. They'll put me up in our office space. I'll work for 2 weeks, knock out a bunch of stuff, like, and then bring it in for a meeting. I'll go through everything. It's okay. I like this. I don't like this. Let's add this here. Take this out. That's that, and that's it. But it's pretty cool. So that's how that particular job works. It's really kind of what the director wants. If they want me to work with them, like hand in hand, I can do that. But sometimes, like I said, they're very experienced. They'll give you the script and say, just go home and do these scenes, and then like send me what you got, and I'll see if I want to make any changes or add stuff on or whatever, and we take it from that point on.
Would they give you the shot list and the script together, or literally just the script, and it's up to you to come up with the shot?
Oh, they have to give you a script first, because if you just get a shot list and no script, you're not gonna know what you're drawing. So like, because yeah, you'll find like if you don't read the script first, and that's actually happened to me before. Sometimes you'll get a shot list and they haven't sent me the script, and then you'll be like, wait a second, this character has a mustache and Rican. Oh my God. I've got to access all the artwork because somebody forgot to send me the script. And I would call people, you guys send me the script? Like, oh, just go start drawing. Well, I film looks like the dimensions of the room, aerial, like I need to know how many windows there are. Like what does a room look like if you want to film this thing in? So if they don't give you those like pictures and like set photos and stuff like that too to go off of, then you're just gonna get whatever you get. Then it's more work for me because I got to go back and change everything now. So yeah, so they have to be very specific about what each character looks like. Sometimes they'll give you like a little page with like whatever people they cast in the movie if they're casting ahead of time or what they want them to look like. Like for example, if they want someone to look like Katy Perry but they don't have Katy Perry, they'll say, yeah, just draw Katy Perry for this character. I was okay, so I'll go find some pictures of her online and kind of base the character to look like her, but it's not actually going to be her.
Neil, you were also. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil.
Yeah, I just want one more. I'm sorry. I'm really interested in this. How many? What's the for any movie you've done? You said 47 of them there, or at least Zandine said. Which movie did you draw the most pictures for? Did you was the most storyboard work for?
Oh, geez.
And how many pictures were there for the whole script?
Oh, Bunraku. Like Bunraku, without a doubt. Oh my God.
I saw that title. I wonder what that was about.
Like
Bunraku. Yeah.
Oh, it's like a combination Western samurai movie. It's like there's a guy who's a cowboy teaming up with a Western. Sorry, a cowboy teaming up with a samurai. And they both have to like go up against a bad guy. So like the samurai is good with weapons, but not with hand-to-hand combat. The cowboy is good with hand-to-hand combat, but not so much with weapons. So they both like train a bunch of guys to go up against a big guy named Nicola, who was played by Ron Perlman. Yeah, but the whole movie was done like with real actors, but also all the sets looked like it was puppetry and like origami sets. So everything looked like it was like made out of an origami book. It was freaking beautiful. So I remember the set and yeah, like oh my God, it looked like a cartoon. It was freaking gorgeous. Like all the chairs we were sitting on were made of cardboard. The piano I was playing in the movie, I played a small part of the movie too, and they made a piano look like an origami.
I saw that.
It was freaking awesome, and it was gorgeous. And that movie, you ever seen like those big binders that are like this thick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 5 of them full of storyboards. 5.
Wow.
When I wasn't when I wasn't on set doing my acting job, they had me in the art department wearing my costume, like doing all the doing additional storyboards we needed for some of the scenes too, and doing some character designs that we needed for like I was working in the art department too at the same time, which was great because I learned a lot. But yeah, there's a lot of.
It was a lot of in that title. I just know when I glanced over it. There was a question you gave me chills a few seconds ago. If I heard you correctly, did you work with Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah, twice.
Okay, the reason why I asked that, the reason why I said that because when I was reading your bio, I saw that you were cancer. Your birthday is the same day as my brother's. I don't know if the bio's right, but I said, oh, he's a Cancer. But Sylvester Stallone is too, right? Did you know that, right?
No, I never did.
And look at the way that he's like, he avalanches his opportunities, man. Like when you were talking, I feel like you got that same thing going.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, like I'd love to have his money at some point, but like, yeah, it was.
I mean, look, when I look at the IMDb, I'm like, damn, like directing, producing. A lot of people get to act, but very few people get to sit behind the chair. For whatever reason, I don't know why that is, but
yeah, I'm not too sure, but like I just wanted to kind of change it up a bit too because like I got so good and fast at doing storyboarding. I wanted Steve Miner who directed Halloween H2O and Dawson's Creek and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh shit,
okay. Everybody freeze.
Yeah, he and Stallone are the ones who told me I should move into directing, and I was like, well, how do I go about doing that? And they told me, well, yeah, just ask one of your friends to direct like a couple of short films and stuff like that too, and that's what I did. I did like a couple of short films. I directed my friend's TV show, and that's what started getting my name out there. The people say, oh, this guy can do this too. And then I kind of like got into producing chair because I knew about it. When I got the Boston job as a producer, the 2 guys who have that company had money, but then like not a lot of contacts. But then I had all the contacts. So I said, well, why don't we team up and work together? And I can bring you all these directors and actors and people and screenwriters that I work with, and then you can fund their stuff. So how does that work out? So that's how I got into that whole role. I'm like, you can make money doing this? Holy crap! I guess I'll do that. So that's how I got into that role for doing that too. It's all context. I thought you had to have money to be a producer. I don't have any money, so it's nice that I can at least like bring in like crews and like contacts and like above and below the people to work on films possibly. That's how my that's how I came in, and that's how I found myself to be part of that system.
Hey Neil, um, I was part of the comic book industry for a while where I was promoting comic book creators, interviewing them, reviewing their comic books. I even published one comic book called The Legendary Dark Silhouette. I heard you mention that you were creating comics. Is that true?
Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time. Like I've done some covers and stuff too, but like I have a comic book that I have called Clan of the Vein, and that was really done to kind of like have something to show people to sell, so we can get a movie project or a TV series going. So yeah, I started off by doing comic book penciling, but the pay is so horrible. It's like not even worth it. So,
Yeah, when I was publishing my comic book, it was such a pain in the butt. After that one comic book, no more. I was done.
that's how I felt too. Like I did stuff for other people too, but like I made my Clan of the Main book look freaking fantastic. It was the best thing I was ever gonna do. That was gonna be like my swan song. And the minute I did that, I'm like, that's it, I'm out. Because it's more like I did that. You're gonna lose money on it. I did that to kind of like sell the movie, so people see the comic book and go, "Holy shit, this looks amazing!" And then like, it's gonna look
Look,
like.
you with the Lazarus coils was you didn't have anything to do with the Lazarus coils, did you?
Yeah, I was one of the designers on it. I designed some of the creatures. I designed Big Sister, who was like the main monster, and I think book two or
Oh
three.
wow, okay, okay. Because I saw that, but I didn't know. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, those are good
like
friends of
that
mine.
Lazarus coils. It's pretty. Paul, it's a trip. You should look it up. It's like 4 issues that I saw, and this one is based on this biblical character. But
That's it.
you know more about it than I do.
Like, yeah, it's based on Lazarus, the guy who Jesus rose from the dead, who came out of the tomb. Yeah, it's based on him and
Okay,
like what
that
happened.
was you. Okay.
Yeah, so like, but I didn't write it or anything. So my friend Joseph Gautier and my friend Alex put that project together. So I did some artwork for them for like initial stages, doing some of the creature designs and stuff like that too. They hired some of the hardcore covers and stuff like that too. I think it's like one or two prints for them too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was a fun project to do. It was a pretty cool monster. So I was like, oh, like, oh, I'll do the monsters. I'll be happy to design all your creatures. That'd be fun. Yeah,
Neil, are you involved with the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
no, I actually funny thing about that, I've gotten called a couple times to work on Daredevil, but every time I got called to work on Daredevil when it was on, I don't know if they're bringing it back on Disney Plus or not, but like when that was over on Netflix, I had like every single season they called me in to come work on Daredevil, but I was always busy booked on something else. I was like, fuck, I want to work on Daredevil so bad, but I just never got around to it. It's like Insidious. Every one of my friends worked on all the Insidious movies, and I every time they call me to work on it, I'm booked on something else. Yeah, really,
Mm.
yeah. Hopefully with Insidious 5 or 6, maybe I'll get a chance to finally work on it. But yeah, every time I get called and I'm like, dude, I'm already booked on something else. So it's really fun.
Dude, dude, zombie movies. That's right. You done work on a few zombie movies too, huh? Which is some of my favorite. I like the fast zombies, but seem like you done some shit on zombie movies. Could you tell us more about that?
Like yeah, I'm really good at acting through makeup. So like I said, my friend Dean Jones, the guy who got me in the film industry, um, but since I'm good at acting with makeup on, they'll usually cast me in a lot of those movies. Like whoever's doing the makeup. Here's a little trick for anybody here who wants to know anything. If you have what's called a life cast of yourself, which means somebody actually took the time, if a makeup artist take the time to do a cast on you, and they have your face and shoulders on a bust somewhere sitting in a makeup shop, you'll always get work. And here's why: if you can like have access to that life cast and you can bring it around to studios, they don't have to spend money to make another cast of you to put makeup on to like sculpt it. They can just use that cast. So if you can get that and like bring it to people for different makeup studios who are doing like like everything from Star Wars to like alien movies, monster movies, whatever, they'll usually hire you because they don't have to spend like a couple $100 to hire a makeup artist to do a whole life cast. So if you can have access to that, you'll get work. So Dean did my life cast for I forgot what movie it was. And then like when he started moving to directing, I just kept getting cast because like it was always being called to do to have people do zombies and like monsters, vampires. So you go, I've got Neil's life cast here in the back with some other friends of mine. Then I would always get cast in those movies because they had my life cast. So yeah, so I did
Yeah.
Dead was the first one I did. I played a couple zombies in that one, and then I did that was the Steve Miner remake, and but then I did Night of the Living Dead 3D, and then Night of the Living Dead 3D reanimation, And I think I did one thing after that. I don't remember, but like, yeah, it's like they kept switching me around to play different zombies in the movie. They put like different, jaw prosthetics, head prosthetics on me.
Yeah. Wow.
Was a full body. You couldn't even my teeth were fake. So like I had to eat through a straw. You have to look in a mirror and flip your lip up and like see where the spoon is going in so you can get the food in your mouth. It was like because you can't tell where your mouth is. And but it's fun. Like I didn't mind as long as the weather's not too hot. I don't mind being in full body makeup at all. I think it's kind of fun. But like yeah, if it's hot outside, then you're in a bad mood, and you wind up weighing 20 pounds more because you're sweating the latex that they put you in starts to absorb all the water.
For the Masked Singer or something. Dang, that is crazy. Yeah, because I saw the zombies. I was fascinated by that. But Phil, let me not hog. I know you got some questions, Phil. What's going on, brother?
No, I was just geeking out on the zombie
know.
stuff too. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Oh, you're on mute.
What about those pictures you had on Instagram? I saw the Clan of the Vein, the one with the green heads with the faces, and then like the lady with the burning body. Is that your work?
Uh, I don't know which picture. Like sometimes, yeah, like if I see the photograph, I can tell. Um, was there a creature with like guts hanging out of her neck flying around? That's the one.
Yeah, and yeah, it was yeah, it was that, and it was a bunch of druid looked like green druids with long head, like the soul. It was kind of the soul arts or something, and but it was the lady with the
Like
and then you had the Clan of the Vein, the fire burning like giant straw figure. It was like a lady because she had like the figure, but it was wow. Anyway, all of it, yeah, so many posts. That's probably like asking you like a needle in a haystack. So
that. Sorry, I'm not sure which. If I
it's
see
all
the
right.
picture, fine. But a lot of the images that are on my page, I'm using that Clan of the Vein, the Instagram page for that. I'm using it as a visual like lookbook to show what my project is going to look like. So I have like all these creepy artists like Bixkinski, Giger, Martin Emmond, who I take some of their work and show it up online. So here's some cool stuff that like it's just like visual lookbook. So like if people ask me what my product looks like, I'm like, oh, here's what I want the monsters to kind of look like. Here's what I want the backgrounds to look like, costume designs, like set designs, and they're all right there on my page. People can look at. So like some of the comic book work that I did was further down. That's from the actual comic book, but like yeah, I would have to actually see which particular image you're talking about. But there was a creature we had called a Penagolin that was somewhere on the page. I don't know where it is, but I think I wasn't colored in yet. Just because like the second half of the book is being colored in right now and being lettered. So whenever that's ready, then the book will be getting released. Hopefully to publish it. But we did a small run of a prequel issue, and that was actually doing pretty well. It was actually on the show Teen Wolf that actually got on the movie Cooties that I worked on too. So like that was
Oh, you did cooties? I saw that.
I like that too. I see that.
Yeah, that was funny. Oh, Neil, I gotta ask you something that's kind of personal. You don't have to give me an answer if you don't want to, but I've known you for a long time, and is that your trademark wearing the cap thing?
oh my beanie, yeah,
Yeah.
long hair.
Yeah.
So like I just got sick of taking care of it because I'm not gonna do a man bun. I think that's freaking ridiculous. And I guess yeah, I'm not a fucking samurai. So like I just don't like doing the man bun thing. That'd be like one of those weird yoga hoses. But yeah, but so like I decided to like this like because my hair is long, so I started one of my friends has dreadlocks. So he was wearing it up in a tam. I go, that looks really comfortable. And he goes, yeah, it's great on a hot day. So I'm like, let me think about that. So I started getting long beanies and shoving all my hair up into it, and then it just seemed to work. So it was nice because I'm very active and I don't like going to the gym wearing baseball caps and ponytails because whenever you're on the machines and your back gets stuck, you're like,
I see, like I wear a ponytail.
yeah, so it's hard because you get, especially with weather like this,
See, if I start wearing the cap, they'll say you're copying Neil. and and then also to your T-shirt, I think we got the same T-shirt. Well, mine has a werewolf, but it has the
it's Motley Crue.
little thing there that you're wearing, the star. Yeah, I think we got it at the same store or something. I don't know.
But man, you play the drums too, man. I heard you like it says you're a rock drummer. Like any bands or you been able to play lately? Is that like something you don't have time for now or what?
Yeah, like I sub for a couple of rock bands on occasion, like when I go out on tour. But lately, it's been really hard to do that because of everything, the situation with my mom being sick, I've been having to take care of her.
Oh yeah.
But
Right.
I did get to play. There was a Canadian rap artist named MC Shadow. So I played on his new track that's going to be coming out later on this year. I forgot the name of it. It's on the Resurrection. There's like it's a three-part trilogy. So I'm playing live drums on the third track. So like when I was up there I was directing a TV show pilot for his company. I said, "Hey, Harry, you want to play on my new track?" I'm like, "Yeah, it'd be fun." So I got to go in the studio and actually record like a hip hop track with him too. It was pretty cool because the thing is, I'm used to being a rock drummer, so
Yeah.
I'm used to doing all these like fills and stuff. So like when I had the headphones on, I was playing so loud that like I couldn't hear what the song sounded.
Yeah.
The engineer said it was pretty funny. The engineer was like, yeah, we should like a basic rock beat, but since I play like kind of like Matt Cameron from Soundgarden, where I do a lot of off beats and everything, and he goes, "What
Okay. Okay. Okay.
straight
Okay.
simple beat thing?" And so it was hard. I was playing so loud I couldn't hear it over the headphones. They had to give me a metronome headset to start clicking so I could hear what I was doing.
No. All right.
So that's how I did that track. But I forgot the name of it, but it's the Resurrection trilogy. So I'm on the new track that's going to be getting released this year. But that was the only thing I've been able to do so far. But hopefully, I just started teaching myself bass guitar, and I'm playing on an album that a friend of mine's doing right now too. So I'm putting that together, and that'll be kind of a fun little thing to do because I've always wanted to play bass. 'Cause I'm a big Geddy Lee fan from Rush, although I'll never ever be.
Right. Okay. Okay. Neil Peart, my boy.
Did
Yeah.
you say Rush?
Yeah, but I'm a Rush head. I love Rush. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's another coincidence. Rush is actually playing over here in Elk Grove, California, where I'm at, uh, October 5th, Saturday.
Is it a cover
And
band?
yeah, some people were asking me, they go, "Are you going to go to the Rush concert?" No, because I'm doing an interview on Saturday on this podcast. No, and plus, I'm not a Rush fan. I mean, I don't even know what their songs are.
Tom Sawyer. You've never heard Tom Sawyer?
Yeah,
No.
cover band or something because the band, their drummer died.
Yeah, they don't play anymore.
Yeah, and my aunt Josie Ayala, she's really good friends with some of the Rush band members. So and she was all excited. They're going to be in your backyard. It's like, who is Rush?
Did you happen to see them when they played the Presto tour?
Yep, that was the last concert I saw in Chicago before I moved out to California. Yeah,
Did you stayed for the encore?
I passed.
Yeah, the rabbits on either side of the stage.
Yeah, and Mr.
Awesome. One of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Yeah, we saw that in Alpine Valley, right? I think it was before or after Stevie Ray Vaughan got killed up there.
Oh wow.
First plane, remember their plane got caught in like
Yeah,
cold wire?
it's a helicopter right after they did a blues show.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was at Alpine Valley, Wisconsin, and that East Troy, Wisconsin. That's where that's where that's where I saw Rush, and I think he died before that or right after that. I'm not too sure what it was around that time period. But yeah,
Right around there. I was still in high school, and that was a hell of an adventure we had just getting up to go see Rush. We saw them in Philadelphia.
Hey Neil, do you have one of your storyboards nearby? I would love to see one of your storyboards.
yeah, I don't have anything here. Like I can email you like if you're doing the podcast, it's gonna be like you can I can email you like a sample of one of the ones.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll send it to Phil, and Phil will place it on the thing.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Send me an email so I can reply to it. I'll send you a couple samples from like complicated stuff to simple stuff.
Awesome.
Like
Sorry, Zandy.
Oh no, my mic is a little bit off. Can you hear me, Neil?
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you ever you ever do anything like you wanna like a documentary, say like on Taj Mahal or any kind of electrifying blues performer, I'm your dude, man. They call me Bluesy, right? But what I specialize in, I love going into a spot where they say, okay, yeah, we do blues, and just like lighten them up. They get their fire insurance. I see a guy over there looking at this lady or whatever, this blonde. I put them together. But once I leave, that party is going. It's a lot of love and soul in there. But people, I get old guys come up to me all the time. They go, man, you know what? You remind me of this or that. Um, and I was at a club one time, and Michael T, the guy that played Bubba Shrimp, he said to me, he said, "Hey, Bluesy, you know what?
Like,
I love that show you did, man. But you know what? I like to see if you didn't if you didn't end up in a tank top like that." And he said something to that effect. He said, "But I liked it." But his mentor, who was next to him, he said, "Nah." He said, "I seen Taj Mahal, I seen James Brown." He said, "That shit you do," he said, "keep doing that." He said, "And maybe it ain't your time yet," but he said, "Keep doing it." And so I was conflicted. One told me he liked it this way, one said it, but I've had that from old timers. I get different things, but I'm a throwback, man. So if you ever, want to make electrifying blues documentary, anything, I'm your boy.
cool. I'll keep that in mind, definitely. Like, I wish I knew more about documentary filmmaking, but like, I'll definitely.
Or movie on a blues artist, anything. Because I know a lot of, me personally, I played with a lot of rock guitars, but their influence was blues. I used to listen to blues as a young cat. I really didn't like it as much because, like, so I ended up rapping, doing a lot of that, a lot of different funk and stuff. But as I got older, I started doing my blues, but I wanted something hip because not since like BB King had you heard anything on the radio or anything. So I was like, man, I want to make it like up tempo, like something more. So that was my mission anyway.
Like,
But it was from the guitars, and rock bands that really kind of really put me back on the blues. Cause like I do Pride and Joy a lot with a lot of guitars.
yeah.
A lot of Stevie Ray stuff, Buddha Child, even though that's the Jimi Hendrix song, but I like the way Stevie did it.
And Neil, you got a documentary filmmaker right there, Phil. Yeah, and if you ever have a chance to see any of his documentaries, they're really cool.
Yeah, they're like comic books. There's no money in them at all.
Unless it's about P. Diddy or something, maybe. But
even then, I guess if you're like the TMZ group and you can just pump one out in a week, it took me a little longer to do mine. But
what's your favorite group, man? What's your favorite? Like, so is it Soundgarden or who is it?
My favorite rock band?
Yeah.
Cheap Trick.
Okay. I wouldn't have guessed that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Trick fan since I was a kid. It was my first concert. I've like loved them ever since.
It's awesome.
Nah, Cheap Trick. Okay.
Neil, have you done a lot of stuff for Disney?
I worked on one thing for them a long time ago. That was Star Shredders. It was a show that it was about extreme sports in space. And then like the show got picked up. It was like our team was against somebody else's team. And then when the show got picked up, like they just like let everybody go. It was new and just like kept the two producers on for the show. And that was it. I don't even know if it ever came out. But like that was the only thing I ever did for them.
And the only thing I ever did for Disney was with Maker Studios, and we did California on the Road Ghosts, and I worked with KSMG. Do you know KSMG?
No.
No, he's like some YouTube star, and he's worked with Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. But that's the only time I had the experience of working with Disney. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you like any anime or manga? Do you watch any anime or any manga? Like Berserk, I saw Dark Arts, but I was wondering, do you like anything like that?
I like some of the older stuff. Like I liked Ninja Scrolls, and I like what was that show? Battle of the Planets, which was called Gatchaman, stuff like that. Howl Moving Castle. I know some of those. I liked a lot of those artwork. Like Robotech was the thing I liked when I was growing up. And also, remember Star Blazers?
I do.
I don't know.
I remember Robotech. Tech, yeah.
It's one that really was like, holy God, this looks amazing. But yeah, that's what I can do with those animations. But of course, Akira was the one that really kind of nailed it for me. I like that style.
Yeah. What's your favorite movies, Neil?
You mean like what's current that I like?
Yeah.
I like a movie called Oddity that I just saw on Shudder. Oddity?
Yeah, what did you like about that, man? I saw the title. I didn't see it though.
Yeah, without giving too much away, it was kind of freaky. They used a lot of cool like camera tricks and like and like they showed a couple cool things, but there was kind of like your imagination actually like wants to like it makes your imagination work more when you watch the movie. 'Cause a lot of stuff is in shadows, stuff like that too, and the camera pacing is really good. Um, I heard I haven't seen it, but I heard Strange Darling's really good, and I heard The Substance is really good. I want to catch them, but they're just leaving theaters right now, so I'm like, oh god, I have to wait.
Yeah,
The Substance was wild. The Substance, they could have cut it probably 15 minutes before the ending. It just really went off the rails at the end.
Yeah,
Well, it got gory, really gory at the end, and I'm like, it was fantastic, but it was I wondered if they had to do all that because the point, it was made well into the movie.
yeah. There's a show called From that I like. It's really good on It's a MGM Plus. That's a pretty good show. I like that one.
Well, From?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite show. I've been waiting so long for the third season. Finally, it's here. It's like, man. And you know what? Even though we had to wait a long time, you still can kind of, I still was able to get back into it. I was worried about that, but that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's a really good show. I know season 3 just came on, but we don't have MGM Plus, so I'm gonna have to wait for a couple of months till it eventually winds up on Prime Video, then I can watch it that way. But yeah, my mom and I watched the first 2 seasons and we loved it. That was really good.
Yeah, okay. That
Neil, being with comic books and everything, and superheroes were always shown to be very glorious doing this and saving the world. But then came out The Boys, and it shows a dark side of superheroes. What do you think of the way they're like The Boys? What do you think? Do you watch that show?
I've only seen the first couple episodes, but I liked it a lot. The thing is, like after all this, being a caregiver to my mom right now, it's hard to like watch TV. So the first couple episodes I saw, I did like it a lot, but then it was really raunchy. But then I just got busy taking care of my mom, so it's kind of hard to sit there and actually focus and watch this TV show right now. But I did like what I saw. That was very well done.
Oh yeah, the guy that plays Homelander, I mean, he's excellent. I mean, Phil, I think you're on mute.
Is your fan on, Paul?
Oh shoot. Okay.
Thanks. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So yeah, I agree. The Boys is awesome. I got into season 1 and season 2. For some reason, I couldn't pick it back up after season 3 though. But raunchy. Here's a one for you. You said you were worked with Stallone twice. What movies were those on?
Rambo 3 and Rambo 4 and Rambo 5. It was like the last. Was it Rambo Last Blood and then the one right before that?
Yeah. Okay.
The one where he has the underground tunnel, and yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that was a bloodbath.
All the kill shots for that. That's what I got called in for. I was designing all the kill shots. Like Stallone called me in personally to come work on that because they filmed the movie, then had all this. How they had to redo the whole final act, redo this whole underground tunnel thing. So he and I both worked together. What was going to make the best killings, and it was It was pretty fun. That was like really a cool job.
Man, wish him a happy birthday when you see him when you know it's his birthday, because you guys your birthdays are very close.
I didn't even know. I've known him for years. I just if someone volunteers information, I'll listen to it. I've never asked.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Phil.
No worries, Andy. It's I feel like it took a lot of time in the beginning. So you guys got any more questions? We're getting close to the wrap up time. So
There's only one main question I want to ask is my son is he started out doing a bunch of rap videos, and he would do everybody in the Bay Area, but he really didn't necessarily like it. And then he was like, well, Dad, I want to try to expand. So he started working with some commercial directors and mentors, and then he would do his thing. Then he started going back to school. He just transferred to San Jose State. I don't think he knows everything he should take, but he's really, he's working towards it. I mean, he's got a good clientele as far as the stuff he doesn't really like. But, I said, hey, son, you know what? You're doing it on your own, but I didn't, give him anything. I was wondering, what advice would you give him, or what classes should he be taking now? Because right now he's just shooting everything, and he is storyboarding to the effect of talking to them about what they want and come up with a treatment or something. But that's it, though.
What does he want to do ideally?
I think he wants to film bigger, I guess bigger productions, bigger videos, get bigger artists, I guess.
You mean he wants to like be a director for those things, for directing music videos?
Yeah, wherever that leads to, because he's worked on like, I guess, say maybe a cancer commercial, and he thought about, hey, well, there's, just other subject matter. So I just think he likes filming, in general. And that's an interesting question. I don't know what his end game on that is, though.
Yeah, you have to find out what he wants to do ideally, because there's no money in music videos really. So like it's kind of like if you do that, you'll like they give you a budget, and then like you have to work within that thing too. It's like not the it's the good thing is you'll learn about how to like do cool camera shots, but it doesn't really tell you how to do a story. But if you want to direct, just tell me to go to any film school, and like if you go wants to go to film school, you can do that. We're just like putting the word out saying I'll shoot people's like short films. I just want to get like a reel put together. So I'll shoot your like start advertising saying you want to shoot some short films.
Okay.
I got some. They've got some Bay Area filmmaker group thing here that they have. Like apparently it happens like once a month or so, every couple of months that you can go to. It's a mixer.
Okay.
People have gone to go like meet people to go work on stuff. So yeah, just putting the word out there and say like, hey, I'll direct your stuff for like a small amount of money, or whatever, just so I can have stuff for my reel. And then just like if it gets put in film festivals and people get to see your work and everything like that too, and then you can hopefully get something out of it.
Okay. So that's the route that's the route. Okay. Thank you.
Sure, that's what I did. I just kind of like asked friends, like, hey, can I direct your short film or something like that? And then like people kept approaching me about it. Then I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Then I just said like, take the money, put it. I don't want any money. Just like take the money and put it in the production to make it look good. So whatever you're gonna pay me, like just I need this thing, this kind of light, this DP, this camera, and they put the money towards that. So all the stuff that I was shooting was actually looking really professionally done. So that's why I just took a pay cut the first couple of things that I did, and then when I got my name out there, I started like charging money for it after. That's what I did. So, I mean,
have you seen how many film festivals there are now?
Yeah, there's a lot of film festivals. Yeah, there's a thing called Film Freeway.
Yeah, Film Freeway gets you on there, and every single one of them watch your film for a fee.
Yeah,
so you got to set money aside. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like but if people look at your stuff, you put it in big. If it gets put into bigger ones too, get accepted, you'll get seen by a lot of people, which is nice too. Like we did that Frontmen TV show. We did a pilot episode. And I wasn't expecting, anything. And like we didn't win any awards, but somebody in the audience works for a literary agent over at this one company. It was pretty big. And I was like, I got an email from them out of nowhere. They must have looked me up on IMDb Pro, and they sent me an email saying, hey, I love the way this was directed. Your pacing was really good. And I was like, thank you. Who are you? And I thought it was just some random fan in the audience who looked up and said we were like laughing really hard during the movie. And it came from a company called Grandview. And then I forwarded to the producer. I'm like, hey, just take a look at this email. It's pretty nice. We got a nice email from somebody. And then like he goes, hey, do you see where that came from? It's from Grandview. I'm like, what's that? I looked at the huge management company. They represent the director of Top Gun Maverick. And like I was like, what? And all these freaking big people. I'm like, holy crap. So then I'm having lunch with whoever that person is when I come back and when I go back to visit LA in the next like week or so.
Damn, okay. Nice.
But yeah, but it's weird how like that things like that can happen from being a film festival. Like people can see it, and you'll get like some people liking your stuff, saying, "Oh, maybe this person can do something else," and then they can.
Neil, do you know who Howard Nash is?
No.
Okay, he's a movie producer over in New York, and he does these independent films. And one time he was talking about making my comic book into a movie. He paid me a couple $100 and said he was going to do it, but he never did. So I was just wondering if you knew who he was.
Yeah, I've never. Did you work for a company or something, or?
I think it's like Howard Nash Productions, and Ice-T actually was in one of his movies, and he's good friends with Ice-T.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen Ice-T in colors, or New Jack City. I forgot.
Oh yeah, New Jack City. Yeah. I remember that.
Well, we're close to the hour, Paul. Zadine, you got any more questions for our guest?
You know what? Now it'd be good. Hopefully, we get to talk another time, man. It's been really good to talk to you. Now, first of all, just say I'm sorry to hear about your mom, man, and thank you for taking time to talk to us. I like to say
Oh,
that.
no, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a nice distraction. So it's been nice. It's been nice to be able to come and do this despite the craziness of today. Like,
Neil, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure interviewing you. Again, too, a lot of prayers for your mother. Um, and I feel you because here, my father's in hospice right now, so I know what you're going through. Hang in there, hang tough. And like I did this podcast because I wanted to get my mind off the thing with hospice and all that other stuff. So
Thank you again, Neil. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'm a big fan of your work. I didn't even know I was looking at your stuff, but it's fantastic. And again, thank you considering what you're going through right now for spending the evening with us. Really appreciate it.
appreciate you even having me on. So I appreciate that. So thank you all.
yeah, thank you, Neil.